I don't know about you, who likes a good quote here? I love a good quote. One of the quotes I grew up with, my father just drilled it into my head, was that winners never quit and quitters never win. You guys ever hear that one? Right, absolutely. Drilled into my head my whole life, and I certainly drilled it into my 3 kiddos' heads. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Well, the truth is, in today's world, today's economy, that winners always quit. They even quit some pretty good habits that we might think about, like quit analyzing problems and quit seeking success and quit managing their time. They swap those habits for even better habits. So I want to talk a little bit about those today. And sometimes, you know, we hear that little man in our head saying, winners always, winners never quit, quitters never win, winners never quit, quitters never win. But sometimes that little guy on our shoulders not necessarily helping us, because we do have to be bold in quitting things. Now let me be clear. I'm not talking about quitting your goal. We have to keep our eye on the prize. But many times we get stuck in things and we're doing the same thing over and over again, and we're not really getting closer to our goal. And so we have to be Dr. Phil to ourselves and ask ourselves the question, so Lee, how's that working for you, right? So there's a difference between quitting our goal and quitting the things we have to do to get there. So those are the things I want to talk about a little bit today, focusing specifically on why we should quit managing our time. Now I have a quick confession before we get started. My first book I wrote was a book called Sticking to It. And so it took me 10 books and 6 years later to get comfortable talking about the topic of quitting, because it is absolutely critical. But there are things associated with quitting. What do you guys think about when you think about quitting? What kind of emotions, what kind of thoughts run through your mind? Anybody?
Throwing down the towel.
Throwing down the towel, losing. What else? Defeat, right? So sometimes it's tough for us to think about quitting for those very reasons. But I want to make that distinction today about quitting the things that we're doing to achieve our goal versus quitting our goal. Okay? So today we'll specifically focus on why we should quit managing our time and manage our attention. Does anyone here like watching the Olympics? I love watching the Olympics. I'm an Olympic junkie. I watch the Olympics during the daytime when they're on, and then sports time comes on at night, the news, and I'm watching the highlights, and my wife's saying, "Didn't you just watch that a few hours ago?" No, you don't get it. These are the highlights though. She goes, "Yeah, isn't that just a subset of what you just watched?" Love watching the Olympics. What amazes me about the Olympics is that those Olympic athletes get to practice 99% of the time. They're practicing, going down the downhill, running over the hurdles, whatever it might be, so that they can perform just 1% of the time. That 1% where they get to be on the thrill of victory or potentially on the agony of defeat reel on ABC Wild World of Sports. Right, I'm aging myself there if you remember that.